And here is the battlefield for today's game, and this marks the first use of my City Fight board, which those of you that follow the blog will know I've been working on these runes in the past few weeks. As you can see here, we have a variety of ruined buildings and craters on my new battle mat. And as I said, this is the first time I've used this battle mat and terrain in a battle. And we have here in the centre a couple of large buildings with some nice line of sight blocking terrain, which is very important in 8th edition. So hopefully this will lead to a more interesting conflict for this game. And here we see the 2,000 points for the Genestealer Cults, and this consists of 2 battalion detachments. Looking over the HQ units at the front here, we have the army led by the Patriarch, and he will take the psychic power Mass Hypnosis, which is useful for preventing overwatch from enemy units and for making them fight last in the fight phase. He will be joined by a Primus, Primus shown here, who's quite good for bringing in reserve units thanks to the Genestealer Cult stratagem. There's also a Magus who will take the Might from Beyond psychic power to give 1 unit +1 strength and +1 attack. And finally we have an Acolyte Icon Ward who will take the relic, the Icon of the Cult Ascendant. So combined, this will give all units within 6 inches a 6 up feel no pain type save and +1 strength as well. For the 3 troops choices, we have 2 units of Neophyte hybrids, each with a grenade launcher and a mining laser, which is like a short range las cannon. We've got 3 units of, oh, there he goes. We've got 3 units of 10-man Acolyte hybrids with heavy rock drills, heavy rock cutters and heavy rock saws shown here. And as you can see at the back there, we have another 5-man unit to make up the 6th choice. For the elites, in the army, we have 2 units of pure strain Genestealers, 1 unit of 8 and 1 unit of 10, and at the back there we have a unit of 6 Aberrants with the rock hammers, and these are quite good melee weapons. In terms of vehicles in the army, we have 2 Scout Sentinels, 1 with an autocannon, 1 with a las cannon. We have a Cult Layman Russ at the back there with a battle cannon, a las cannon and some heavy bolter sponsons. We have the Goliath truck with the twin autocannon and the heavy stubber, and we have a Goliath rock grinder with the seismic cannon and the heavy stubber. Now, counting up power level for this army, the power level is 119 in total, meaning that I can put up to 59 power level in reserves for the Cult Ambush. And this is going to consist of the Patriarch, the Magus, the Primus, the Acolyte Icon Ward, 2 units of Genestealers, 2 of the 10-man Acolyte squads and the 5-man Acolyte squad. I'll probably use the 5-man Acolyte squad for grabbing objectives or harassing the enemy. The 3rd unit of 10-man Acolyte Icon Wards will go in the Goliath truck, whereas the Aberrants will go in the Goliath rock grinder, with the rest of the characters following the units in reserve. So here we have 2,000 points of Michael's Night Lords Chaos Space Marines, and he's running a battalion, a spearhead and an outrider. So he's just going to take us through his army just now.
Cool. So for the battalion, we have in the HQ slots Demon Prince with wings. He's got a Demonic Axe. He is the Warlord for this game, and he's got the Warlord trait Hatred Incarnate, which is wound. He's also got a relic, Intoxicating Elixir, which is a Slanesh, and that'll give him +1 strength attacks. Second HQ choice is the Dark Apostle. He's just as is, the Dark Apostle. Then we have in the troop slots 10 cultists with a variety of weapons. There's Brick with his heavy stubber there. 2 Chaos Space Marine squads. One's got a sergeant with a power maul in it and a plasma gun. We've got another squad with a heavy bolter in it. Then, in the Outrider detachment, we have Chaos Lord here. Now he has another relic, which I'll be spending the strat on, and that's the Claws of the Black Hunt. So he will be rocking Strength 5, -3, D3 damage, claws. It's pretty beastly in combat. And he's got a jump pack as well. Then we also have the Sorcerer with the jump pack. He's got an axe and he'll be rocking Delightful Agonies and Warp Time. And then the fast attack slots are taken up by 3 squads of Raptors. So we have our very own Cypher, Night Lords style, and he's got double plasma pistols, and we've got 2 plasma gun toting Raptors. Another squad, 1 flamer, got power sword on the Raptor Sergeant. Then the last squad has 7 in it. We've got 2 plasma pistol Raptors and Sergeant has an axe. Then the last, the Outrider, is these 2 lovely creatures. So we've got 2 Helldrakes with, of course, Bale Flamers. Spearhead, we have the Beastmaster, the Warpsmith, and he is as is. We also have a Defiler with a Twin Las Cannon and a Power Scourge, and we have 2 Mauler Fiends, both with Lasher Tendrils.
Okay, and this is Michael's, you can see the detail, really nicely painted Night Lord's army. So we've got a good bit of shooting in this and a good bit of combat element with the Raptors. So it'll be interesting to see how these clash with the Genestealer Cult and whether I actually have enough firepower to take out some of these vehicles, or if I'm going to have to count on the heavy rock weapons or the heavy drill mining weapons to take them out. So that's the armies. We'll then take you on to the scenario and the deployment. Okay, we rolled off for the mission, and today it's the Maelstrom mission, Targets of Opportunity. This is the one where you get 3 cards per turn, but you only have that turn to try and achieve them. You can pay 2 command points for a stratagem to allow you to hold 1 card for your next turn. So that can be useful if you find one you're going to achieve. We also placed the objectives and we rolled up, and we've got Vanguard Strike Deployment, which is the long ways diagonals, which can be interesting. So here you can see the deployment for Mike and his Night Lords, where we have a Mauler-Fiend on the edge here, a unit of Chaos Space Marines in the crater there, another Mauler-Fiend with the Warpsmith beside him. Oh, not Warpsmith in the middle there, he was moved. Cultists holding the objective there. We've got the 2 flyers, remind me what they're called? Helldrake. So we've got 1 Helldrake at the back, 1 beside the tower. We've got the Defiler on the other side of the battlefield here, and we've got a unit of Chaos Space Marines in there holding the objective. And we've got the Demon Prince there and the Sorcerer. So that's the deployment for the Night Lords. Over here, the bulk of my army, or a lot of it, is in reserve. I have a Scout Sentinel with an autocannon beside the tower here on the edge of my deployment zone. I've got a Goliath truck and the Rock Grinder in the centre, using this big church in the middle to try and block line of sight to some of his heavier weapons. I've got a unit of Neophytes holding the objective on my back line. The Cult Russ at the back, out of line of sight, ready to move up and use the long range of its battle cannon. Another unit of Neophytes side here, and the last Russ there. If we just go over the objectives for this mission, we have objective number 3 here at the back of my deployment zone, objective number 1 in the tower here, objective number 5 over on my right flank. We have objective number 6 here, held by the cultists. Objective number 4 in the fountain there. And finally we have objective number 2 over near me on the other side. So Mike chose his deployment zone and chose the side with the tower. He's also got 3 units of Raptors in Deep Strike Reserve, and the Sorcerer, Chaos Lord, is also in Deep Strike. For me, I have quite a few units in Cult Ambush. I've got all 4 characters, so the Magus, the Primus, the Patriarch and the Acolyte Icon Ward. Both units of Genestealers, 2 units of 10-man Acolytes and 1 unit of 5-man Acolytes. I'd like to put more in, but the reserve rules mean that I have to have equal power level, so I can't put any more in. So with that, Mike finished deploying first, so gets the +1. We roll here, he gets a 1. And see if I can get any better. I roll a 2, so that's a draw, so we roll off again. Oh, 5, that's way better. I need a 6 here, and I get a 2. Don't. Let's see if I can seize the initiative. Come on, I need this. No, I don't. So we'll come back to you with turn 1. So, for my scout moves, I moved 1 sentinel from the ruins here over to the other set of ruins, and this other scout sentinel I moved back a bit out of line of sight, so hoping he won't be popped by the weaponry of the Defiler before he gets a chance to shoot, because this las cannon should come in quite handy with all the vehicles I'm going to be facing off against, as you can see here. So we'll come back to it with the Night Lords turn 1. So, turn 1 for the Night Lords, and Mike drew Priority Order Receive, which is secure objective 4, defend objective 2, and secure objective 1. Now objective 4 is right here in his deployment zone, and his Warlord is quite close by. It's the Demon Prince, yeah? Right. Demon Prince, so that's achievable. Defend objective 2 is sort of out here towards my deployment zone, so that's probably less likely. And secure objective 1 is way over in my deployment zone, the ruins here, so that's unlikely to happen on turn 1. But you could get a nice D3, sorry, straight 3. A straight 3 plus 1, so you could potentially get 4 points just by bringing his Warlord over here, so I think that's probably going to be his play. Plus, if he gets First Blood, that puts him 5 points up at the end of turn 1. So we'll see what he does with his movement phase on turn 1. So, the end of the Night Lord's movement phase, as expected, his Warlord Demon Prince did move up to hold the objective. The Space Marines getting out of the way so that he could do that. So that's going to be 4 points for that, which is a pretty good start. The Defiler moved up, the Warpsmith advanced, the Mauler Fiend advanced. This Helldrake moved to the top of the buildings there with my 2 vehicles beside it. The other flank, the cultists just spread out a little on the objective. The Chaos Marines moved out of the crater. The Mauler Fiend advanced. The 2 characters, the Sorcerer and the Dark Apostle, moved up. And this other Helldrake went after my Scout Sentinel there. So Scout Sentinel might not survive this turn. And we'll come back to you with the Psychic phase for the Night Lords. So, Psychic phase is going to start with the Demon Prince casting Prescience on the Defiler. That's a fail. on a 5.
I'm not going to reroll it.
Nope, no rerolls.
And then we have the Sorcerer, who is going to cast Warp Time on this Mauler Fleet.
Oh, I forgot he had warp time. So he didn't advance the...
He did advance.
Can he still assault?
No.
Oh,
I'm just trying to get him further up the field.
Ah, so... That's a 7?
7 is a pass, so he will move again.
Okay. Any more psychic powers?
Well, yes.
So the Sorcerer's now going to cast Delightful Agonies on the Mauler Fiend. That's a 7.
7, which is a pass.
Okay, so what does that do? I'm not familiar with that one.
So essentially it gives him 5 up on a pain.
Okay, so that will help him out.
Yeah, if he suffers a wound on a 5, he'll ignore it.
But he can't assault this turn because he advanced. He's just getting them up the field
just roaring at you.
a bit closer.
Yep.
So with that, we'll come back to you with part of the shooting phase for the Night Lords. So the start of the Night Lord shooting phase, Mike's going to start using his command points. He's going to use Blasphemous Machines and Demon Forge on the Defiler. This gives him rerolled failed to hits into wounds with Demon Forge, and Blasphemous Machines allows him to ignore the penalties for moving and shooting. So the Defiler is going to take aim at the Layman Russ up at the back here, which I thought was nice and safe, but turns out it was wrong. Out of line sight. So what's going to fire first?
So we'll do the Twin Las Cannon first.
Okay. Oh, and that's double miss.
Okay, so he hits on 4s, by the way.
Okay.
Even with the ignoring the -1. Demon Forge lets me reroll.
Oh, of course.
So
That's 1 hit.
And then 3s to wound.
Yep. That's a wound. I get a 6-up save, which I don't make, and this does d6 damage. That's 5. That's pretty good. So that's 5 wounds off the Russ to start with.
And then we have a Battle Cannon for 4 shots.
Yep.
And he's hitting on 4s again.
So forced to hit with rerolls. That's 1 hit. That's turned into 3 hits. Pretty good use of the stratagems there. That's forced to wound.
Yep.
No wins, but he gets rerolls. That's 2 wins at -2.
-2.
So 2 5-ups. None. So this is 2d3 damage. Oh,
God.
That's 11 wounds. So we'll come back to you. Just need to check how many wounds my Russ has. But no, you did 5 initially.
5
and 5.
6, so you'll have 1
Oh yeah.
left, I believe.
We'll just check on that. So yes, that leaves we checked, Layman Russ has 12 wounds. That leaves him on 1 remaining. Should have done a better job of hiding him, but that's my fault. He moved them up, and you can see him there. So we'll see what the rest of the shooting can do.
Yep.
So the rest of the Night Lord shooting phase, the Helldrake on top of the building here fired at the Goliath truck, managing to hit and wound 3 times. Didn't make any 6-up armor saves, but I did make up 1/6 rugged construction, so it's down to 5 wounds. The other Helldrake fired at this Sentinel, but some poor rolling by Mike, so only a single wound taken, so 2 damage there. The Chaos Space Marines at the back fired a heavy bolter at their only target they could see, the Rock Grinder, but did no damage. Sorry, they did a wound, but I saved it. And the Heavy Stubber here from the cultists fired at the truck, but failed to hit any wounds. So, no first blood, it turns out, for the...
I have a combat phase.
Oh, of course, so we'll come back to you with the assault phase. I forgot that these big flying beasties can still assault, so we'll come back to you with the assault phase. Okay, so in the assault phase, the Helldrake is going to attempt to assault the Sentinel, which you won't need much to get in, but I'll get to do my Overwatch. Oh, that's a double hit. And strength 7, toughness
7.
Toughness 7, so 4s to wound. That's 2 wounds at -1, I believe, for an autocannon.
Yep, so 3 up normally, so 4s.
And that's 2 damage goes through on the Helldrake.
2, he goes down to 10.
And can you make your assault? An 11 is definitely in, so we'll come back to you with the fight phase for that. So, in the fight phase, Mike really wants First Blood in this Sentinel, so he's spent another command point on Demon Forge to give him rerolls to hit and to wound, so let's see if he can finish off this Sentinel.
So 3s. Roll that one.
That's 3 hits, Demon Forge no use there. Toughness 5.
Strength 7.
So 3s to wound, that's cocked. So that's 3 wounds with the Demon Forged, minus
1.
Minus 1, so 5 up save. 2 damage apiece?
D3.
D3, oh, so this could finish him. I make 1, fail 1. He's got 4 wounds remaining and it's D3. You know what, I've got a lot of command points left. If I can save my First Blood, because you're already getting 4 points. If I can save First Blood. No, I can't, so it's 2d3. That's 4, that's enough to kill him. Does he... yes, they can explode. So let's see if I can do some damage with my final. No, don't explode. So that is the Sentinel is dead, and that is First Blood for the Night Lords. So, pretty successful turn for Mike. Some really good cards drawn. Secure priority orders and secure objective 4 means he gets 4 points for holding this objective. He also gets First Blood, so that puts him 5-0 up going into the Genestealer Cults turn 1. I'm going to have to get a good set of cards and a good turn. So pretty successful first turn for the Night Lords. Some damage done. I forgot they could charge. I should have moved away with my... I shouldn't have moved up my Cult Sentinel with the safe First Blood. Would have helped me out a bit. So we'll come back to the cards drawn for the Genestealer Cults turn 1. So, the cards drawn turn 1 for the Genestealer Cults were Defend Objective 1, Psychological Warfare, and Overwhelming Firepower. Not a great set of cards, it must be said. Objective 1's here, close to my lines, but defending it means holding it for 2 turns, which I think is unlikely.
To be fair, I don't really have anyone that can go up there.
That's true, there's no one can really go up and hold that, so I could hold that if he doesn't shoot me off it. Overwhelming Firepower, maybe if the Russ was at full strength, but
sorry,
it's at ballistic skill 6 now, so unlikely to get that. Psychological Warfare, maybe, if I do some damage to the cultists, potentially, but we will see how it gets on. But 5 points down, it's not looking great for the cults on turn 1, so I'm going to do my movement and then some cult ambushes and see what I can get from that. So, my normal movement, I disembarked this unit of Acolyte Hybrids and advanced up to hold Objective 1. Because they're filling the ruins there, they won't be able to be assaulted, and hopefully I can survive the shooting attack. The Rock Grinder moved up towards the Mauler Fiend, hopefully I might be able to get a charge off on him. The rest of my forces pretty much stayed still to be able to target the flyers with their heavy weapons. So that's my normal movement now. I get to do the fun stuff of the Cult Ambush. So first up, I'm going to use the Meticulous Uprising Stratagem with my Primus to bring in the unit of 10 Genestealers. So let's see, I really want a 5 or a 6 here. And I get a 5. I'll use his free reroll. There's a bit of a debate online whether or not he gets to reroll the Cult Ambush result, whether that's you reroll all 3 dice or you reroll 1. My reading is you only reroll 1 because it's way too good otherwise. But then again, I could reroll them all and lose that 5. So we'll see. So I'll use his free reroll, hopefully getting a 6 here. And I don't, but I'll take the 5, which means I deploy 9 inches away and then I can move up d6. So I'll do that in the rest of my Cult Ambush rolls, and then I will come back to you with what happens there. So I need to deploy 9 inches, then do my advance. I'm just going to roll my advance now. In case I want to re-roll it, I can get this on camera. So let's see how far I advance. 3, that gives me a 6-inch charge. Do you know what? I'm okay with that. I'd rather not risk it to see. Okay, so the Cult Ambush arrived. I brought the Genestealers and the Primus in beside the Chaos Space Marines and the characters on my right flank. I also brought in all my other reserves. As you can see, with the Patriarch, I managed to get 6 on the Cult Ambush table with a reroll. So I have sent them after the Chaos Space Marines, the Warpsmith, and the Defiler here, hoping to tie up the Defiler in combat, stop it shooting. My other units both rolled a 3 on the ambush table, meaning they have to set up more than 12 inches away, or 9 inches away out of line of sight. I chose to bring them on in his backfield here, to force Mike to have to split his forces to deal with me, plus my Icon Bearer can get into range of the Genestealers to help with wounds maybe, if I spread them out. And I can also cast some powers on them with my Magus there. So we'll go into the Psychic phase for Genestealer Cults turn 1. So first off, we're going to cast Mass Hypnosis from the Patriarch on the Warpsmith. This means he can't Overwatch, he is at -1 to hit, and he only strikes last in the fight phase. The reason I do that, he's got a Flamer and a Melter Gun, and I don't want my Patriarch, just in case, the Flamer could do some damage, but in case he gets a 6 on the Melter Gun and vaporizes my Patriarch. So that's a casting value of 7. That's a pass with a 7.
I will attempt to deny with the Demon Prince.
Yep, Demon Prince is going to attempt to block, and he gets a 3, that's not enough. Next up, with my Magus, I'm going to cast Might from Beyond on the Genestealers here. This gives them +1 strength and +1 attack, and that's just in case any die from Overwatch. I'm hoping that the Overwatch will not kill them off. If it kills them off, if I cast it, then I get +1 attack, +1 strength, and if he knocks me down below 10 models, so I need to lose 1, then I can still get 4 attacks, so good number of attacks. So that's cast on a 7. That's a 3, so that's not good enough. It's not even worth a command point reroll, so that's a failed test for that. I've got 10 command points left. Do you know what? Is it worth that 5? I've got.
You don't have any other stratagems.
I don't really have any other stratagems, so I got a 2 and a 1. I'll re-roll the 1.
Yeah.
So I've got a 33% chance of getting this off. And I do. I get it with a 7. And the Sorcerer's going to attempt to block it, I presume.
See if I can make you waste that command point.
So that's me down to 8, sorry. No, so that goes off as well. That was a good use of a command point there. So these guys, if I keep them in range of the Icon Ward as well, thanks to the relic, I'll be strength 6. So that, but I don't really need it because I'm strength 5 anyway. But if I don't suffer any casualties in Overwatch, that's 5 attacks apiece, hitting on 2s. So that should hopefully make a mess of most of the units here. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase, such that it is for the Genestealer Cults, and we'll see what happens there. So we're going to start off the shooting phase with this very injured Lehman Russ firing at the slightly injured Helldrake here. Not expecting much from him as I'm hitting on 6s with everything, but I'm hoping to try and score overwhelming firepower, so I need to cause some damage. If I can at least kill 1 unit, that gets me a point, so I'm hoping that will do well. So let's do the battle cannon into him. Get 2d6 shots. 7 shots, about average, and we'll see what I can do with that. So because I'm in the lowest damage bracket, I'm hitting on 6s. And I get 1 hit. Wounding on a 3, I believe. Toughness.
Yeah,
wounding on a 3. No, that's no wound. Is it worth command pointing that?
I
Do you know what? I'll save it for one of the las cannons. Yeah, I'll save that for one of the las cannons. And the heavy bolters now. Hitting on 6s. That is nothing. So that's a very successful addition to the army, is the Layman Russ. So next up, just to give you an overview of my thought process, I'm going to put the mining laser and all the other shots I can into this Helldrake. I'll probably put both vehicles, I don't think that'll be enough to destroy it, into the Helldrake. And this Scout Sentinel over here can also see the wounded Helldrake, so hopefully I'll be able to do some damage there. Not sure if this weapon here has I don't think it has range, so I might have to go into this Helldrake up here. It's only 24 inches, it's never going to be in. Yeah. With that, I don't really have much else shooting to do, because my only pistol units over here had to set up at least 12 away, so they're going to be out of range. So we'll see if I can do any damage to this Helldrake and hopefully get overwhelming firepower. So, the end of the Genestealer Cult shooting phase, not that good, to be honest. The mining laser from the weapons from the Goliath truck hit once, did a wound, bits was saved. The mining laser didn't manage to do anything. The mining laser here failed to hit. The grenade launcher hit and wounded but was saved, and I managed to take a wound off it with the las gun, of all things. Then the Sentinel with the las cannon fired over at it and managed to do a great 5 wounds to it. And then this squad here who didn't have range for it, the mining laser and the grenade launcher both failed to do any damage to the Helldrake. The auto guns, or las guns essentially, managed to take 1 wound from it. So no overwhelming firepower for me, unfortunately. So not a great start, but I have taken this Helldrake down to 4 wounds, but its weapon auto hits, so it really hasn't made much difference. I'm just going to have to watch myself. So on to the best part for the Genestealer Cults, on to the charge phase now. So on to the assault phase. First of all, this unit of Genestealers, I'm going to multi-charge the Chaos Space Marines and the 2 characters here, hoping I can roll well and do some real damage to them before I get into trouble. So that'll be my first charge. We'll just do the Overwatch off camera and we'll come back to you with that. So the Overwatch resolved. The bolters from the Chaos Space Marine squad got 1 hit but failed to wound, and the pistol from the Dark Apostle hit and wounded. I failed my invuln and failed my 6-up Feel No Pain, taking 1 casualty from the Genestealers, so taking me down to 9 models, meaning I'll lose my +1 attack, but I do get it back because of Might from Beyond. So that was quite valuable to cast that. I need 6-inch charge to get to the Chaos Space Marines, probably about a 7 or an 8 to get to the 2 characters. So let's see what I roll. I roll an 8, that should be enough to get them in. The Primus is going to try and assault the Chaos Space Marines as well. And he gets an 8 as well, that's going to be enough for them to get in. So we'll do that, do the movement and come back to you with the rest of the charges for the Genestealer Cults. So the Genestealers and the Primus charged the Chaos Space Marines over here. I didn't make range on the Dark Apostle. I figured I won't charge him because he's got a 4-up invuln, and I made sure I stayed out of range so he couldn't heroically intervene. Over here, I decided to charge the Mauler Fiend with the Rock Grinder. Figure I might be able to do some damage to him. Hopefully he won't be able to kill me off, he only hits on 4s. Over here, the Patriarch charged the Warpsmith, and the Genestealers managed to get into the Chaos Space Marines, not taking any damage in Overwatch. Again, making sure that the Chaos Demon Prince could not heroically intervene because there was no room, because I don't really want to face him because they're not great against invuln saves. So that's all the charges. We're going to go into the fight phase and see how I can get on there. Hopefully cause a fair bit of damage to the Chaos Space Marine army.
Thankfully,
well, he fights last. So, in the fight phase, I'm going to start with this Genestealer Cult unit here, just in case they get interrupted. So, 4 of them are going to go into the Sorcerer. So that's 16 attacks. I'm going to use my Rending Claws, so I'm hitting on 2s, thanks to the Primus. Just as well, that's 16 hits. Strength 4, 4s to wound, -1 AP, any 6s are -4. So I want some good 6s. So I see 3 6s, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds at -1. How many wounds does he have?
4.
4, so you need to fail one of these, hopefully. And he does, he fails 2, not enough for reroll. So that kills off the Sorcerer, and we'll fight with the Chaos Space Marines. So that's 20 attacks into the Chaos Space Marines. Sorry, I made a mistake there, they should have been wounding on 3s. Because I got +1 strength thanks to Might from Beyond. Didn't make a difference though, he still died, but I'll remember it for the Chaos Space Marines. So hitting on 2s, dropped 1. That was only 16 hits, these guys suck. Wounding on 3s now, -1, any 6s are -4 AP. So that's immediately 1, 2, 3, 4 dead, and 2, 4, 6 wounds at -1. So again, he needs to make all of these. And he doesn't, he makes exactly none. So that is the Chaos Space Marines and the Sorcerer wiped out. And I'm gonna consolidate into these cultists here to stop them shooting my squishy units. I'll probably try and stay away from the Dark Apostle because that'll just give him a chance to fight me. So we'll do the rest of the combats as well. Okay, now we're going to do the Patriarch against the Warpsmith. He is going to be hitting on 2s. That is 5 hits. How many wounds have you got?
4.
Any in one?
No.
Okay, there's not worth the command point then. At this stage, 4 hits. Strength 6, so 3s to wound. 6s are -6 AP and a flat 3 damage. So 3s to hit. A couple of 6s here would be nice. Let's command, that's 3 wounds, 1 fail. Let's command point one of these. No, so that's only 3 wounds. It is -3 AP, D3 damage. So I could kill him off here. So
2 up.
So 5s. That is none. So D3
D3.
Nope, D3 damage. Yeah, that's enough to kill him. And let us
Didn't even do anything.
Consolidate. This is probably stupid, but if I consolidate into the Defiler, it stops him shooting me at least. How many attacks has the Defiler got?
It's gonna have 7 at strength 12 hitting on 4s.
Oh.
Flat 3 damage.
Do you know what?
He's gonna charge you anyway.
Yeah, he's going to charge.
He'll have to charge you.
Yes. I'm wondering if it's worth doing that to stop him shooting. How many attacks? 7. Hitting on 4s. He's not Demon Forge. Do you know what? I'm going to die anyway. There's so much here. It's worth it for you not shooting. So we can do the final combat here with the Chaos Space Marines as well. So the Genestealers here attacked. Good hits. I made, out of 24 attacks, I made 20 hits. Fluffed the wounds a bit. Only 7 wounds out of 20, wounding on a 4+. Managed to kill the 2 outright, rolling 6s. And then out of 5 saves, he made 3. So that leaves only 1 remaining. I'm gonna take my note. So I'm gonna see if I can consolidate in and surround him to stop me getting shot at. So he can move round. He can move up to 3. And he can move up to 3. So that should give me enough to surround him and stop him falling back. Although I imagine the Demon Prince is going to charge me anyway, but at least it means I won't lose any to the shooting phase. So,
if he doesn't run away.
Reasonable combat. So while we're here, we will roll Oh yeah, that's true, he could fail his morale check, I forgot about that. While we're here, let's do the Defiler and see if this was a smart move.
Right, so he's got a power Scourge. Normally has 4 attacks.
Yep.
With the Scourge he gets an extra 3. So
Lots of 1 to 3 here.
4s.
No, you missed 1.
I reroll 1.
Okay, this could have gone very badly for... Yeah, so that's 7 hits. This could go very badly. I believe I'm toughness 6.
Okay.
And this is my Warlord, so this was a damn stupid move. He's toughness 5, so that's...
Right, it'll be 2s.
2s to win. Oh. That's 7 wounds.
Minus 2.
Let's see. Hold on. So 7 wounds. I've got a 5 up invuln. It's a flat 3 damage. I need to make 6 out of 7 to survive. Could be done. Could be possible. Come on, dice gods, you owe me. Got 1. No, he is most definitely dead. And that's Warlord. That was an entirely foolish mistake on my part.
I was very lucky.
Yeah, 7 hits, 7 wounds. Okay, so that's not good for me. So in this phase, we have a morale check for this lone Chaos Space Marine.
Hold your horses. He gets to fight.
Oh, fine.
So
If you must follow the rules.
2 base, plus the chainsword, rerolls the 1s.
Yep.
And then 4s.
No win, so
Nothing.
morale test for him. Minus
so
4.
I'll do his morale. He'll pass.
Passes, that's okay.
These guys will get to pile in.
They will, yeah. The cultists, I consolidated into the cultists over here to stop them from shooting.
Yeah. Because I could have used Veterans of the Long War, which would have been quite nasty.
That was, oh, Patriarch, you let me down there. You let me down.
So, combat weapon, 3 guns.
So the cultist attack, re-rolling all hits thanks to the Dark Apostle, managed to kill off, get 2 wounds and kill off 1 of the Genestealers. Oh yeah, and we forgot about this, so we've got this, the truck against the Hellbrute. We'll see how this gets on. Sorry, so I got both of those things wrong. It's the Rock Grinder into the Mauler Fiend. The Rock Grinder charged, he gets D3 extra attacks. Big money, that's an extra 2 attacks, giving him 8 in total. So 8 attacks, hitting on 5s. I want a lot of 5s here. Come on, Dice God, you screwed me over with the Patriarch. Let's do well here. I'll take that, that's 3 hits. That's just better than average. Strength 8. 3s to wound. That is 1 wound. Have I used my command point yet?
No.
I did. I used it on the Patriarch to get an extra wound, yeah. I failed. So that is 1 wound for the Rock Grinder at -2.
So 5 up in Van.
Nope. Sorry, the lighting here is a bit bad for this. And it's D3 damage for 2 damage. And you get your 5 up save from your psychic power.
So 5s to ignore the damage.
Nope, 2 wins. That was less successful than I was hoping for. And the Mauler Fiend will get to attack back. And we'll see, hopefully, it won't kill off my Rock Grinder.
Well, he's just out of range of the Dark Apostle,
So we'll see how he gets on here.
1 hit.
That's not, yeah, it's better than I could have hoped for.
Toughness.
Toughness 6 for the Rock Grinder.
Strength 12.
So 6.
So that would be a wound anyway.
Oh no, sorry, toughness 7 for the Rock Grinder. Still a wound.
Anyway.
-3. -3, so no save.
3 damage.
3 damage. I do get my 6 up rugged construction. I don't make any, so that's 3 wounds. He's down to 7.
His tentacles.
His tentacles.
2 hits.
2 hits with the tentacles.
Strength 6, so 5.
5s to wound. Oh, double wound.
5.
Minus.
2.
So 6 ups.
And then 2 damage each.
2 damage each. 6 ups, 6 ups. That's 1, so 3 go through, so that's 6 wins in total. He's down to 4. That's the end of my turn. I don't get psychological warfare. I forgot about that. I was kind of hoping you'd feel that morale now. Don't get psychological warfare. Don't get overwhelming firepower. Have started defending objective 1, which hopefully I should be able to keep. Not the best of turns. I did wipe out 2 squads of Chaos Space Marines and a Sorcerer, but I did lose my Warlord in a foolish consolidation. Both Genestealer units I think are going to be in trouble this turn. I've still got a fair bit left, but at the moment we are 6 points to 0 in favour of the Night Lords. So unless I can wipe them out, which I think will be difficult because I really don't have much to take on your vehicles. My firepower has been pretty poor in that respect, and combat ability is not... All your vehicles are pretty good in combat, so I can't even go a few rounds. So we'll see what happens, but at the moment, things not looking great for the cult. I might get 2 points at the end of your turn, but depending on what you draw, I could go quite far behind. So I don't want to be too pessimistic that things are looking grim for the cult at the end of only turn 1. So we'll come back to you with turn 2 for the Night Lord. Turn 2 for the Night Lords. Mike drew Hold the Line, which is going to be very difficult to achieve because there's a lot of the cult in his deployment zone. Master the Warp, which he will probably get with his Warlord in case he rolls terribly. And For the Dark Gods, which is a Chaos Space Marine specific one, and it's score 1 point if an enemy unit was destroyed or failed a morale check. That's entirely achievable. I would be stunned if he didn't get that, but fortunately there's no multiplier on that, so he's only going to score. So I foresee, unless he has an absolutely horrendous roll for the psychic phase, 2 points for the Night Lords in this turn. So we'll see, come back to you with the movement phase and see what Mike decides to do. At the end of the movement phase for Night Lords turn 2, the damaged Helldrake healed a wound, so it's back up to 5. Moved back towards the Genestealers here in combat. The Mauler Fiend also moving round to support them. The Dark Apostle moved up and he decided to keep the cultists in combat for now. The Mauler Fiend here has been kept in combat as well. The Defiler moved up on the Genestealers there, and the other Helldrake moved towards my unit of Neophytes in the ruins here. At the end of the turn he brought in his reserves, a unit of Raptors with plasma guns to target my Goliath truck here. Another unit over here, positioning for next turn to move off and do some charges. And finally the third unit and the Chaos Lord coming in on my left flank, again to threaten these Neophytes in the ruins here, and the Chaos Lord providing buffs for the nearby plasma guns, who I assume are going to try and overcharge at the Rock Grinder to cause, the Goliath truck to cause some damage. So that's the end of the movement phase. We'll go on to the psychic phase, which Mike has to cast a power in order to get his point for this turn. In the psychic phase, we're going to try a smite from the Demon Prince, and that's a Perils. I assume you're going to use a command point?
Yes.
That takes you down to how many?
5.
Down to 5 command points. Not a lot of command points being used by you so far. I've certainly used more than that. So come on, another one. And it's a 5. That's enough to get a smite off. That does D3 mortal wounds. That kills 3 Genestealers and also scores him his point for the card this turn. Night Lord shooting phase. The cultists in the ruin here managed to fire 4 pistols at Genestealers and managed to kill 1. So with so many units in range, that could be a nasty morale check. Does that work for vehicles too?
No.
No, okay, so it's only -2, but it should. And the Helldrake is going to fire his Bale Flamer at the unit of Acolyte hybrids back here. And it gets D6 shots. That's 1 shot.
There it is.
That's a wound. -2, so that's no armor save, but I do get a 6 up, feel no pain. I don't make any, so that's 1 more dies. Or 1 dies, I should say. None of them have died so far. We'll come back to you with the rest of the shooting for the Chaos Space Marines. Second Helldrake decided to fire at the Sentinel, and Mike got a lovely 6 shots. So you got 1 with the last one, 6 with this one. Hit wounding on 3s, is it? Or?
3s, yeah, 6 versus toughness.
So -2, so that gives me a 6-up save. It's still a dead Sentinel. So, does it explode? It doesn't, so dead Sentinel here. No las cannons left, so I'm really not getting, even though I don't have to get overwhelming anymore, I'm still not getting any firepower for this turn. The Raptor squad here fired at the Neophyte hybrids and the runes, managed to kill 2 off, and now we're going to overcharge these plasma guns into the Goliath truck here.
Cool, we'll start with this guy.
Gets the reroll for the Chaos Lord. No, so 1 dies, 1 hit.
God's sake.
Second guy.
Champion.
1 hit.
And then the last guy.
4 hits, that's going to be nasty.
Toughness 6.
Toughness 6, so 3's to wound. That is 3 wounds.
-3.
-3, so no save, so that's 6 wounds.
Damage.
6 damage. Thank you. I need at least 2 of these to go off, or he dies. And I do! That's cocked. I do, so he's down to 1 wound remaining with
2 bolt pistols.
Ah! Can the bolt pistols finish off where the plasma failed to do so? So, 3's to hit. 1 hit, 1 reroll.
1.
2 hits. 6s? No, 5, sorry, 5s. Nope. Okay, so my truck has survived on 1 wound remaining. Very fortunate for me. With my luck, it would blow up and take out a lot of my neophyte, my acolytes along the way. So that's 1 lost, and he didn't manage to kill it. So that was quite a good result for me. So the last unit shooting was the Defiler. He fired his 2 las cannons at the Lehman Russ. As you can see here, got 1 hit, 1 wound, couldn't save, he died. The battle cannon got 2 shots firing at this unit of acolytes at the back here that was already wounded. 1 hit and wounded, caused 2 damage that I couldn't save with my banner bearer, so 1 more has died there. Might need a morale check for them, but I should get a reroll with my banner. With all the shooting done, not a terrible turn, but not amazing. For the Night Lords, we will move on to the assault phase, of which I imagine there's going to be a fair number to try and mop up some of these Genestealer units before they can do damage. So I don't think I'll be getting much Overwatch, so we'll come back with the results of the charges when we're done here. End of the charge phase, the Dark Apostle, the Helldrake and the Mauler Fiend charged into the Genestealers here. Over on the other side, the Defiler and the Demon Prince managed to charge in there, and the Helldrake charged the unit of Neophytes here. Overwatch did no damage at all. He also attempted to charge that unit with the Raptors and the Chaos Lord, but neither made the 9 inches to get in. So now we're going to move on to the fight phase. Which unit do you want to attack first?
The Smaller Fiend.
Okay, the Mauler Fiend is going to attack first, and we'll come and see what he can do against the Genestealers. So, the Mauler Fiend attacking the Genestealers, 4 attacks, hitting on 4s. That's 4 hits. Oh, 2s to wound. That's 3 wounds. I get a 5-up invuln. I'll make 2 of them, so 1 dies.
Nice. And then his tentacles.
Yep.
Rerolling failed hits.
Yep.
Strength 6.
So 3s to wound. Oof, that's another 4 wounds. Hopefully I can survive a few of these. 3 more die, so we'll see what happens. I'll remove my casualties, and then I'm probably going to want to interrupt with someone. Got 6 command points left. I'd be as well using the 2. Let's see if I can do any damage there. and I'll have a think about it and see what we decide to do. I decided I would spend the 2 command points to interrupt with these Genestealers here. Maybe do a few wounds on his Demon Prince. Hopefully kill it. So I have 1 attacking the Chaos Space Marine, 2 were able to pile in or consolidate in to get to the Demon Prince, and 1 will need to go into the Defiler. So 3 attacks against the Space Marine using my Rending Claws, hitting on 3s now. That's not a single hit with the 1 on the Chaos Space Marine. Then we have 9 attacking, is that 9? 9 attacking the Demon Prince, hitting on 3s. Hopefully this will go a bit better. Yeah, it's not too bad. Wounding on your toughness. Demon Prince is toughness 6, so strength 4, toughness 6. We're wounding on 5s. Any 6s are AP -4. That's 2 wounds at AP -4, so you're 5 up in Vun only.
5 up in Vun.
1 gets through. 3 into the Defiler. That's 2 hits. That's 1 wound. -1. And that gets through. So that's only. Unfortunately, I thought these were D3 wounds at AP at 6s to win, but no, they're only 1. So probably not the best use of 2 command points. I put 1 wound on the Demon Prince. Failed to kill the Space Marine after a terrible roll for that. And 1 wound on the Defiler. So the rest of the Chaos Space Marine units will get to attack, and now it's just a chance to see Mox will survive. I only have 3 Genestealers left over here. I'm wondering if it would still have been better to go interrupt with these guys and go after the cultists.
Yeah.
I could have done some damage. Had you failed a morale test, I think I still would have scored psychological warfare, because I think that can apply in your turn, and consolidation might have prevented the Helldrake from attacking. So maybe I chose the wrong unit. I went for the numbers of Genestealers, so 5 over 3, but might have been smarter to go for the 3 and actually have more chance of causing some damage. Plus I would be getting the +1 to hit with the Primus still. So that might have been the better choice. So we'll see if any of the Genestealers can survive, which I very much doubt. Oh yeah, I could have gone after the Dark Apostle. I never thought of that. Could have maybe killed it. So we'll see what happens. Most likely both Genestealer units are gone. Maybe some of these neophytes are gone as well. So seriously diminishing the strength of the Genestealer Cults at the end of turn 2. We'll see what happens at the rest of the fight phase. In this combat, over here, the Demon Prince was able to kill off 3 of the Genestealers. I decided to move the ones from the right there, meaning that the Defiler was unable to attack, because even with his pile-in he couldn't get in the range. However, it's probably a moot point because they'll most likely die to morale anyway, unless I get lucky. The Helldrake decided to pile into the Primus. Even though he can't attack him, I will get my attacks against him, but it does stop me from charging.
Yeah, I don't want you to charge the Dark Apostle.
Yeah, it stops me from going after the Dark Apostle. So the first unit chosen, the Dark Apostle was able to kill 2 of the Genestealers, leaving 2 remaining. Mike chose the Cultists to activate first, meaning that they did killed off the last 2. They did 3 wounds and were able to kill off the last 2 of the Genestealers, which means I get to choose a unit to fight now, and it's going to be the Goliath truck. So hopefully I can do a bit more damage to this Mauler Fiend. I did 2 wounds last turn, but he healed 1 at the start of this turn, annoyingly, so he's only down 1 wound. Maybe I'll do some damage, and hopefully I will not get destroyed in turn. I only have 4 wounds remaining, if I recall correctly. He did some damage, so yeah, I might get destroyed this turn, but it should leave my aberrants in range to do some damage. The Goliath Rock Grinder attacked the Mauler Fiend, only got 2 attacks, didn't do any damage. As you can see, the Mauler Fiend attacked back, managed to wipe out the Rock Grinder. Fortunately, none of the aberrants were killed from disembarking. Over here, I removed the casualties from the Helldrake to take it out of range, so I won't have to fall back. So I'm not going to activate them to attack, but I will need to do some morale tests for my units. Finally, the Chaos Space Marine attacked the 2 remaining Genestealers. Did no damage to them. I lost 6 this turn. There's 2 units within 6 inches,
yeah.
So that's a further -2. That takes me to 8. My leadership is 9. If I roll a 1 or a 2, I will survive. Otherwise, I'm going to be wiped. And that's a 2. So I do lose 1, but there's 1 left alive, which is good, I suppose. Over here, I lost 6. My leadership is 8. Let's see what I get. 10. So I lose 2 more guys. Let's take those 2. And with that, at the end of the turn, you will score for the Dark Gods for killing a unit. So for the Dark Gods for killing a unit, as well as Master the Warp. So that takes you to 8 points, and I will also score defend objective 1 over here for 2 points. So at the end of Night Lord's turn 2, the current score is 8-2 in favour of the Night Lords. So that was no good. So I forgot to say that the Primus did attack, but did no damage to the Helldrake at all. Hard to hurt the vehicle, because I can't use my wounding on 2-up ones. So with that, we have the end. Oh no, we still have a morale check over here. I lost 2 of... Oh no, I only lost 2 of the Acolytes, and I'm leadership 8. So no morale check required, because there are no Night Lord units within range. So bit hit and miss with the morale check. Failed 2, but did keep 1 Genestealer alive. Maybe he'll finish off the last Chaos Space Marine this turn. And with that, we go into the Genestealer Cults turn. At the start of my second turn, I drew Secure Objective 4, Defend Objective 4, and Assassinate. Objective 4 is over here, beside the units, so I can probably secure it. I won't be able to defend it though. Assassinate, the only character I can really get into range of and have a chance at killing is the Dark Apostle. Probably won't do much against the Chaos Lord. Don't really have much over here that can deal with the Chaos Lord or get to the Chaos Lord, and the Demon Prince I don't have anything to deal with. So as you can see, I've finished the movement phase. The movement phase for the Genestealer Cult, this unit of aberrants decided to go after the Chaos Space Marines. I can go after the Chaos Lord from there rather than go. It might have been smarter to go after the Mauler Fiend, but hopefully my shooting can do a bit of damage. Brought these unit of Acolytes down to deal with the Mauler Fiends. Over here, the Primus fell back from combat, whereas the 2 units of Neophytes and the characters moved up. Acolyte hybrids. Hopefully 1 unit will be able to take on the Dark Apostle. The others might be able to deal with the Mauler Fiend and the Cultists. The lone Genestealer fell back to secure the objective. I doubt he's going to defend it. And I used another command point on the Meticulous Uprising stratagem. Rolled a 2 and a 4. Re-rolled the 2 with another command point to get a 2. So that was no good. And I brought the unit of 5 Acolytes in here to either target the Raptors or possibly soak up Overwatch and go for the Cultists. We'll see what happens. And that leaves them with 2 command points. So that's the end of my movement phase. I'll go into the Psychic phase to see if I can do any damage with the hybrid, with the Neophytes. I'm going to cast Might from Beyond on this unit of Acolyte hybrids here with the Rock Cutters. It's to hopefully help me do some damage to the Mauler Fiends. 2 command points left, so I need a 7. The Demon Prince shouldn't be able to block this. And I get, that's cocked, and I need a 6 here. So 1 and a 3. I may as well spend another command point. It's 50-50, I can get it off. It'll really help me taking on the Mauler Fiend. Oh well, actually no, I've got the +1 strength from the banner, actually, so that'll already take me strength 10, strength 12. What's your toughness?
7.
Yeah, so that's not even going to do anything. So yeah, there's no point. That's right, as an extra attack, that's probably worthwhile. You see? Yeah, I wish that was a 5, it's not. So let's spend another command point. I've got 2 left, now 1, if I need a 4 up to get this off. And I get it, so Might from Beyond on this unit to give them an extra attack and +1 strength, taking them up to strength 6 if they stay in range of the banner, but more importantly +1 attack for taking on the Mauler Fiend. Psychic phase done, we'll go on to what little shooting I have and see if I can do any damage there. The end of my shooting phase was entirely uneventful. The neophytes here, the Acolyte hybrids fired at the Helldrake, didn't do any damage. The other unit of Acolytes fired at the Mauler Fiend, didn't do any damage. Didn't want to target these cultists so I could charge them, because Mike could remove models nearby. This unit of 5 Acolytes fired at the Raptors, no damage. This is a theme. This unit fired at the Mauler Fiend, no damage. This unit fired at the Mauler Fiend, no damage. This unit fired at the Mauler Fiend, no damage. This unit did fire at the Raptors. Mike used a stratagem, which was in Midnight Clad, which gave them -1 to hit. Despite that, the mining laser did hit and kill one of them, so that was quite good. The grenade launcher and the last autogun both failed. So with my feckless shooting phase finished, we will move into the important assault phase. Just thinking the charges, this unit of neophytes and the Icon Ward are going to declare a charge on the Mauler Fiend, the Dark Apostle and the Cultists. This unit of Acolytes is going to declare charge on the Mauler Fiend and the Cultists. The unit of neophytes over there, I'll decide, they can either go into the Cultists if I fail with others, or into the Raptors. It's a 9-inch charge regardless. This unit of Acolytes is going to go into the Mauler Fiend here to hopefully do some damage. This unit of Aberrants is going to go into the Chaos Space Marines. Might have been better going after the Mauler Fiend to try and kill it, but depends how it goes. We'll see what happens. Actually, just thinking about it, what I should have done is sent this truck after the Chaos Space Marines to soak up the Overwatch. Although he does only have 1 moon left, yeah, it's probably not wise to do. We'll see what happens with that. I don't think there'll be any other charges. I don't think my neophytes really want to go in against the Raptors. And my Pure Strain Genestealer fell back, can't assault, but he's holding the objective for me. He's not going to defend it, but he will hold it. Hopefully, I will be able to kill this Dark Apostle to get another point and bring it up to 8-4. At least make something reliable. So we'll roll up some charges and see what we can do there. Just thinking of tactics, I'm going to get this unit to charge first. That way they can soak up the Overwatch of the Cultists and get in. Because I need this unit of Acolytes to kill this character to get me assassinate. So the more attacks I can get in at him, the better. So I'll try and soak up the Overwatch with this unit here. I could use the unit 5, but a 9-inch charge is probably just going to be casualties for me that I can't risky make the charge. I've got 1 command point left. I really need to save it for this unit to get in, and really need to get some points this turn. So that will at least help me a little. So 1 neophyte died in the charge, but I did make it into the Mauler Fiend and the Cultist. In retrospect, I'm not going to charge him with the Magus, even though he's got the Force Weapon. Odds are I won't do anything to the Mauler Fiend. So now this unit is going to charge into the Mauler Fiend, the Cultists, and the Dark Apostle. And let's see if I can make this charge. I need a... Let's see what I need. I'm just outside 6 inches, so I need a 6-inch charge, and I've got 1 command point left. Let's see how I get on. Oh yeah, 11. Well in, well in. So come back with the rest of the charges and the rest of the combats. This unit of Acolytes did manage to make it in. As we saw, this unit of Acolytes also charged the Mauler Fiend. Here, I actually decided to multi-charge the Chaos Lord and the Chaos Space Marines to hopefully get me Assassinate. I did manage to roll high enough. I rolled an 8 to get into 1-inch range, and then I'll be able to consolidate a few in there, keeping them out of base contact so I can move round and get into range, so that will be quite good. Now I just decide who to attack with first. I think it's probably better to go with the Aberrant, because he does have enough command points to interrupt and do some damage whether he decides to use them. So I think I've got a better chance of killing the Chaos Lord with these Aberrants. So we'll do their attacks first, and then hopefully the Mauler Fiend or whoever attacks won't do too much damage in reply. So we'll see how this gets on. We've got 3 Aberrants in range to attack the Chaos Lord, and 3 to attack the Raptors there. So 2 attacks each, -1 to hit, which is annoying. I was hoping to get more in range. So 6 attacks into the Chaos Lord. I need some good rolls here, and some very poor in-buns. That is 3 hits, that's average. 2s to... better use... No, I'll save my command point in case I fluff this. 2s to wound, that's 3 wounds. And 3 invulnerables, you need to fail 2 of these, hopefully. And he fails 1, so that's 3 damage.
Okay.
Damn, that wasn't enough. Hopefully I can take out the Dark Apostle. Let's see. And then 3 into the Chaos Space Marines. That is 4 hits. I need all of these to wound to kill them. That's 3 wounds. Let's just command. No, I'll save the command point for the Dark Apostle. That's 3 wounds at -3. That is 2 die. He makes a 6-up save, so 2 die. So not great for the Aberrants. They really need the +1 to hit. That could be foolhardy. And we'll see how the rest of the combats go. Are you going to interrupt?
Let me have a think about it.
Okay, we'll have a think and get back to you. So Mike had a good think. He did decide to interrupt. He really needs this Dark Apostle to survive, to help out the Cultists and the Mauler Fiend. So he's going to spend 2 command points to interrupt with the Mauler Fiend. Which is he splitting his attacks, or?
No, they're all going on that unit.
Yep, they're all going to neophytes in combat with the Dark Apostle, who could potentially do some damage. He's only got 1 command point left, and let's see how he gets on. So hitting on 4s.
Yep. So 4s re-rolling because of the Dark Apostle.
Yes, I was wondering why you didn't use Demon Forge.
Well, I can't use it in my opponent's turn.
Oh, interesting. So you can. So that turns into 3 hits. Good thing you interrupted with the Dark Apostle. 2s to wound.
That'll be 3 damage.
3 damage a piece. So highly unlikely, but anyway, I get my 6-up save from the banner. Save 1, so 1 dies. 2 die. Yeah, and 3 die, pretty much. Shouldn't have rolled, but yeah, you never know.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Tentacles.
Tentacles.
So this is 4s again.
Oh, thank goodness for that Dark Apostle. You've only been getting 1 hit.
See why I'm trying to save him?
Yep. Does that work on vehicles? Yeah, it's any unit.
It's
yeah.
all Legion.
That's fine.
Strength 6.
So 2s again.
This is all -2.
So no save, single damage.
2 damage.
So that's 5. So we'll do this off camera.
There's 1 left.
Nope. So that was enough to kill them all. That was a smart play there. Not only does that keep the Dark Apostle alive, it also denies me the points for Assassinate this turn. I really need my codex so that I can get the fight again stratagem and actually go after something to kill. It's really tough not having that stratagem, although I don't have enough command points left even if I did have one. So yeah, that sort of puts a scupper to those plans, and we'll keep playing, but I think that's pretty much the game. I'm only going to score 1 point this turn. It's going to be 8 points to 3, and I have not many units left, I must say, at the end of this turn, so I think that's the game, but we're going to keep fighting, see what happens. I put 4 of the Acolyte attacks into the Cultists. They're in range, they're within 6 of the Banner and the Primus, and I do have Might from Beyond on them, so that's 16 attacks because I use my Cultist knife, so 2 base, plus 1 for the knife, plus 1 for the Might from Beyond. Hitting on 2s because of the Primus. I'm wounding on 2s because I'm strength 6 from Might of Beyond and from the Banner. So 16 attacks, hitting on 2s with the Cultist, wounding on 2s. That was 15 wounds. So let's see if any survive with a 6-up save. No, none survive. So that is the Cultist wiped out. And I've got my rest of my attacks going into the Mauler Fiend, who hopefully I can inconvenience just a little. We'll see. Okay, the normal Acolytes attacked the Mauler Fiend, did no damage at all. I've now got the Rock Saws. Yeah, I've got the drills where they are, the cutters. Rock Saws, which I believe were -1 to hit from the FAQ, but I may be wrong, but I'll play it just now as they're -1 to hit. +1 thanks to the Primus, so 6 attacks from Might from Beyond, hitting on 3s. Would have made a difference, but we'll see. Wounding, strength 12, because plus 11 or 12, because I'm +2 strength, and then double. So, wounding on 3s. Oh, come on. Do you know what? Let's use my last command point. Oh, come on. 2 wounds at minus. 2 wounds at -4.
Invans. Nope.
Nope, so that's 4 damage only. Oh, that was a horrendous roll.
That was horrendous. That really
okay, so
5
wounds, wounding on a 3+, and I get 2 out of 6 because I use the reroll. That is pretty horrendous.
Roll another wound dice just in case that 2 would have been hit.
Nah, it's fine, we'll leave it. We'll go do the rest of the combat, see if we do any damage, but based on that one, not too hopeful about the rest of the combat, so we've got one more to do.
1 damage each.
The combat here with the Acolytes, the normal guys managed to do 2 wins?
Yep,
2 wins in at the Mauler Fiend, taking them down to 9. I then used the Rock Drills, did 3 wounds in total, of which 2 failed. So that's 2 wounds, taking them down to 7. Now I get to do the fun mortal wounds. So the way this works, each unsaved wound, on a 2-up it does a mortal wound, then on a 3-up it does a mortal wound, then a 4-up, 5-up, 6-up. So he's got 7 wounds left. With some exceedingly good rolls, I could do a lot of damage here, but I've no command points left. So this is the first one. That's 1 mortal wound, so he's down to 6. Now I need a 3-up. I do, he's down to 5. 4-up. I do, he's down to 4. 5-up. No, the second wound. Oh, could I get it? Could I get it? Second one. Down to 3 wounds. Then I need a 3-up. I do, he's down to 2 wounds. 4-up. Yes, he's down to a single win. And a 5-up here. I've destroyed the Mauler Fiend. Come on, Dice Gods. Oh, it's a 4. Oh, the Mauler Fiend survives on 1 wound remaining. I just needed... I failed both my 5-ups, but that was some good rolling there. We forgot to add as well, at the start, this unit of 5 Acolytes charged the Raptors here. So we're going to resolve this combat and then we will be done, and we'll see if we get any points. In the remaining combats, the 5 acolytes over here did way better than I was expecting, killing 4 of the raptors. However, the lone guy with the power sword was able to kill off 2. The Mauler Fiend here was only able to kill 1 acolyte hybrid. The Chaos Lord managed to hit 5 times, wound 5 times, but fortunately the Aberrant's ability to reduce the damage of each attack by 1 saved them from the D3 wound, so he only killed off 3, and I was able to remove the casualties from here so that the raptors could now not fight. So with the combat at an end there, we have a few morale tests to do all round, and we'll see if that can cause any effect. Morale was quite painful here, so I lost 3 aberrants. I'm within range of 3 Night Lord units, so that's another -3, and I rolled a 3, giving me 9. My leadership is 7, so 2 more die. Just as well I did remove them. No other morale checks were failed. I managed to keep them alive, so that is the end of turn 2 for the Genestealer Cults. I only score secure objective 4. I've started defending objective 4 over here, but I don't think I'm going to get it because I've got a single Genestealer who's probably going to die. So at the moment that puts it to 8 points to 3 for the Night Lords. I think it's fair to say this game's pretty much over, but we'll keep playing on, see if I can actually kill that Mauler Fiend on 1 wound and do a bit more damage. So we'll go into turn 3 for the Night Lords and quite possibly the end game. Turn 3 for the Night Lords, and we drew Secure Objective 5, Assassinate, and Domination. Domination is entirely unlikely, but you may have a go at it. Objective 5 is over there, so there's a real possibility of getting that if the Mauler Fiend is a big coward and falls back, or the Helldrake can go for it, potentially.
The Helldrakes are flyers, sadly.
So the Dark Apostle could run away and get it, but there's really no need when he's got Assassinate and some lovely juicy characters lying exposed over there. So I think this is going to be another good turn for the Night Lords, another really bad turn for the Genestealer Cults. We'll come back to you at the end of the movement phase. The Night Lords movement phase, the Helldrake moved over beside my characters over here, hoping to snipe them. The Dark Apostle moved up. The other Helldrake moved over to potentially help out the Mauler Fiend here. The 2 remaining Plasma Raptors moved up to the balcony there, probably to take on the truck. The Defiler and the Demon Prince moved up here. The lone Chaos Space Marine, presumably wanting to go after the last Pure Strain Genestealer. Hopefully he won't kill him. I'll get those 2 points, make a game of it. Chaos Lord stayed in combat with the Aberrant after a bit of a debate by Michael. We decided not to be a coward and fall back. And the Raptors moved up on the soon-to-be very dead neophytes, I imagine. I think if I get lucky in this game, I'll have 1 unit, potentially 2 left at the end of this turn. So with that, we'll go into the Psychic phase for the Chaos and see what they're going to do. So in the Psychic phase, the Demon Prince is going to do a smite with the 3 acolytes being the closest, and that's a pass with the smite. I can block it actually.
Can, yeah.
What was that? An 8? What was that?
It was a 7.
So see if I can block it with my Magus. I do with an 8, so I block the smite. They stay alive for just a few more minutes before the combat. Start the shooting phase. The Raptor here fired a pistol at the Acolytes, hitting and wounding, but I made a save. The Sergeant over here, Chaos Space Marine Sergeant, threw a crack grenade, hit, but failed to wound on a 1. Meaning he's going to have to try and finish him off the old-fashioned way. Over here, the Raptors fired their pistols and plasma pistol into the Neophytes, wiping them out. And now the Plasma Gunners are going to go after the 1 wound Goliath truck. Not overcharging, because we all know the Night Lords are cowards.
1 wound left.
Yeah, 1 wound and he's going to win me on 3s anyway. Right. So, 3s to hit. Yeah, he wouldn't have killed himself anyway. That is cocked, so that is only 1 wound. So I don't get a armor save, but I do get a 6 up. 6 up, feel no
do not make
rugged construction. You should overcharge. This would have been 2. Come on, 6. Yes! Oh, and you should overcharge. The Goliath truck survives on 1 wound. Oh, that is. Oh, now you're just being petty. The Helldrake's going to fire in. 4 hits automatically.
6, so 1 wound.
1 wound.
Minus 2.
2 damage.
2 damage. So it's minus 2, so you get 6 up.
Oh yeah, I do get 6 up. I get 6 up, 6 up. So armor save. Nope. Yeah. And then, oh no, it was only 1 wound, wasn't it? Yeah. 2 damage. Then double 6. Double 6. I can do it. Oh, so close, but it's destroyed. Does it blow up? That's cocked. Cocked again, you stones. Nope, doesn't blow up. So finally the Goliath truck's taken down. I think that's the end of your shooting phase.
Not quite.
Oh no, we've got the Helldrake over here. We'll come back to you with that. The Defiler, the only thing he can shoot is that lone Genestealer, who I thought he was going to assault and try and finish. So we're going to shoot the Defiler at we'll come back to you with what's probably a very dead Genestealer. At the end of the shooting phase, the Defiler unceremoniously killed the last Genestealer with a las cannon to the face. The Helldrake only got a single shot against the Magus, causing a wound. I just decided to take it on him because I would rather have the Acolytes attacks than the Magus. This is most likely the final turn, so we will come back with any charges and combat. What? No charges? Okay, let's move on to the... No, we'll come back to you with the charges, see what happens. In the charge phase, the Helldrake charged the Magus. The Defiler attempted to charge the Acolyte hybrids here, but failed to charge even with his last command point reroll. The Demon Prince charged the Acolytes over there. The Helldrake charged the Acolytes here to help out the damaged... I want to say Hellbrute again, Mauler Fiend, and the Raptors actually made an 11-inch charge into the Aberrant, who I think is very good. The Chaos Lord was going to kill me anyway, but that's the charges. We'll come back to you with some very dead Genestealer Cults after this. Oh, and the Dark Apostle, yeah, he makes it in too. So this Helldrake attacked the Magus, causing 2 wounds. I do want to try and deny Assassinate for what it's worth. So I'm going to roll and see with Unquestioning Loyalty if I can pass these off onto the nearby Acolytes. And I do, I pass both off, so 2 die. So I need to remove 2 and keep him alive. The rest of the combats, the Dark Apostle managed to kill 1 of the Acolytes with the charge. The Helldrake managed to kill 1. The Raptors killed off the Aberrant. The Demon Prince easily dispatched the Acolyte hybrids. So that's all the attacks with the Chargers. We now need to pick which unit is going to attack first. Either of the Mauler Fiends, whichever one he doesn't choose, I'm going to get to attack with my Acolytes and maybe do some damage there. So we'll see what he decides to pick. Mike chose to attack with this Mauler Fiend here and actually wiped out the rest of the squad. So I'm going to attack with this squad here on the Mauler Fiend. I guess I need to declare all my attacks, or do I declare it by weapon?
All of your models that are fighting declare.
Right, I have declared. So I need to decide if I want to split my attacks or not. Do you know what? Let's do it. Let's put 4 into the... Actually, these guys have got little chance of wounding the Mauler Fiend.
The same chance of wounding the Mauler Fiend as the other guy.
Yeah, in which case I'll put 3 into the Helldrake, 3 into the Mauler Fiend, sorry, 3 into the Helldrake, 3 into the Mauler Fiend, and my 2 drills will try and finish off the Mauler Fiend. So we'll see what happens there. The Acolytes here attacked. The normal guys didn't do any damage to the Mauler Fiend, took 1 wound off the Helldrake. Now I have my drills. Let's see if splitting attacks were useful. So my drills, I'm hitting on 3s, 4 attacks. Oh, 1 hit. I need a 3 to wound. Oh, it's dropped. 3 to wound, -3. Can this be saved? No, it's not saved, so that's 1 wound. He's dead anyway. I don't need to do them all. Yes. Oh no, he took... No, he recovered the wound, you're right. He's down to 2 wounds. So I need a 2+ to kill him. I shouldn't have split my attacks there. I would have killed him. I need a 2+ and he's dead. Oh yeah, it's a 5. It's a 5. He's dead. He's dead. And he blows up. Okay, that's... how many wounds?
So on your guys, 3.
1. Of course it is.
You know.
Of course it is. So 3 dead guys there. So I did kill it. I did kill it, but yeah, let's 3 lose. Let's consolidate into your flyer. Actually try and do some damage to that as well. So no morale tests. Oh no. Oh yeah, the Magus gets to strike back. So we'll come back with some more combat and do the morale test, see what actually happens. The Magus failed to do anything in combat, and these guys passed the morale test. So at the end of the Night Lord's turn, you score what?
Nothing.
No points there. So at the moment, it's still 8-3, because I didn't get in, didn't get assassinated, didn't get defend. So it's 8-3 going into turn 3 for the Genestealer Cults. As you can see, I have handful of models left. I've got 5 Acolytes over here. I've got a still 10-man strong squad of Neophytes who are going to do nothing. And I've got the 3 characters here. They could do some damage. So we'll see what cards I get and if there's anything I can achieve on my 3rd turn. On the 3rd turn for the Genestealer Cults, I drew Secure Objective 3, Secure Objective 6, Secure Objective 2. 6 is over there by the Dark Apostle. I'm thinking I might send in my characters to try and get that. 3 I already have, is held by the Neophytes over here. 2's way over here next to the Raptors. I've got nothing that can go get that. So I might be able to get 2 points this turn if I can make my charges with my units. Hopefully I'll be able to get that. So we'll do the movement phase and see how we get on. In my movement phase, the Magus fell back from combat. He's going to probably try casting a power. The Primus and the Acolyte moved round, hoping to charge him. If they can both make it in, or if they can kill him, they can grab the objective. Actually, how many wounds has he got?
He's got 4.
What I'll do is I'll fall back if I've got range. Yep. Yeah, I'll get a smite in, hopefully wound him a bit. Do some damage if it's not blocked. The Acolytes stayed in combat with the Helldrake because there's no point otherwise. They stayed there to get the most of their shots and to hold the objective. So we'll just go straight on to the Psychic phase. Let's see if I can smite the Dark Apostle. I roll an 8. That's an 8.
I shall deny you, sir.
Yes, let's see if Demon Prince can deny that. With an 11, it's denied. That is no use whatsoever. So with that, we'll get very little shooting done. See what we can actually do. In the shooting phase, the Acolytes fired their pistol into the Helldrake, managed to do a single wound. The Neophytes fired at the Raptors, managing to do a single wound with the mining laser and kill one. The auto guns did a wound, but he made his 2-up armor save. So now we have the charge phase. The Primus and the Acolyte Icon Ward are going to charge the Dark Apostle here. Let's do some Overwatch. The Primus is going in first.
Crack grenade.
Crack grenade. Misses. And my charge distance is 9. That is more than enough to get in. And the Acolyte will follow him in. The Icon Ward 6. That's enough to get in as well. And we'll see if they... No more command points left, so we'll see if they can take down this character. They've already got the objective, but I'll see if I can kill him, finally, after he denied me last time. So the Primus is going to use his Toxic Injection Claw. It's only -1 AP, but he's got a 4-up invuln anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. So I'd rather have the better chance of wounding on 2s. Hitting on 2s, that's 3 hits, no rerolls. Wounding on 2s, that's 3 wounds at -1, so 3 4-ups. He makes 1, so that's 2 wounds taken.
2 left.
2 left. We'll see if the Acolyte can finish him off. So the Acolyte Icon Ward gets 4 attacks with the Rending Claws, hitting on 2s thanks to the Primus nearby. That's 3 hits. Wounding on 3s thanks to the +1 strength from his banner. Oh, that's only 1 wound, not enough to kill him, unfortunately. And he makes the save anyway, so he survives on 2 wounds. Can he kill one? Oh, I think he has to kill both, because I've got 3 characters in range of the objective at the moment.
How many wounds does the Icon Ward have?
The Icon Ward has 4 wounds.
I only have 3 attacks.
So he can't kill off anyone.
I'll just attack him right now.
Yep, so attacks back. 3 hits. 3 wounds. Minus. -1, that's 6-up save. None. 6-up. Feel no pain. None, so he's down to 1 wound remaining. But that's the end of my... Oh no, I've got my... he's got 1 wound remaining, but now I've got the combat over here I can choose. We'll do this combat and see if we get anything from the Helldrake. Normal Acolyte struck, managed to do a single wound to the Helldrake, which he failed his armor save. So he's down to how many?
8.
8 wounds left. Now we will do the drills, hitting on 3s. Oh, come on! Wounding on 3s. Oh, 1 wound only, -3. 4, that's a failed save. So he's down to 8 wounds. 7 wounds. Now I get to do the mortal wound fun. I don't think I can kill you, even if I get all the rolls. 2 up, of course I roll a 1. So no mortal wounds for him. And that is the end of my turn. I score Secure Objective 3 and Secure Objective 6. Objective 6 I am taking from the Dark Apostle. Objective 3 is over here.
Sadly, the Helldrake does get to attack back.
Oh, I always forget about that. Fine, you and your rules. Helldrake attacks back.
3s. And then 2s. That's 3 -1.
3 -1, 6-up saves. Yeah, 2 die. So we'll do the morale test here for them. They lost 2, no minuses, so they pass. Leadership 8, they are fine. So as I said, I scored 2 points. That takes it up to 8 points to 5 at the end of turn 3. Slowly clawing it back, but really, don't think I'm going to have too much left. Start Night Lord's turn 4, we decided to play on. The cards drawn were behind enemy lines, which he's got a big unit of raptors there, is entirely doable. Supremacy, hold 3 objectives, which is going to be doable too. And Claim and Despoil, which is score D3 victory points if you control an objective marker that was controlled by your opponent at the start of the turn. He has 2 choices here to go for. Killing the characters here to claim this objective, or almost entirely likely the Raptors killing this Neophyte squad and holding this objective. So it looks like it's going to be another big turn of scoring for the Night Lords, and this will definitely put the nail in the coffin. I don't think I'll have anyone left alive at the end of this turn, but we'll see what happens. Night Lords movement phase, turn 4. As Mike just said, this shot pretty much epitomises the game, where we have my lonely characters absolutely surrounded by a Helldrake, Defiler, Demon Prince, and Mauler Fiend ready to charge in. The Helldrake here fell back, most likely to roast these Neophytes, while the Raptors and the Chaos Lord moved up, and this Chaos Raptor moved up on the 3 Acolytes. Don't forget the remaining Plasma Gun guy. You want. So he's moved to secure. He's going to get this objective. He's holding, his lone spaceman's holding this objective. He'll have this objective if you can kill my Neophytes off. So that will give him 3 points for Supremacy, and also behind enemy lines and Claim and Despoil. So we'll go into the shooting phase. Yes, sorry, Psychic phase first. We forgot about that. What's going to happen?
Just going to throw Smite.
Smite from the Demon Prince will hit my Primus. That's an 11. Oh, I may as well try and block it. I need a 12. Nope, that's D6 wounds. That's 2 wounds. It's not a dead Primus though.
6 is to ignore.
Oh yeah, 6 is to ignore from my banner. I ignore them. Oh, it comes in handy ones. So the Smite got off an 11. Only did 2 more wounds, and I blocked them both with the icon, the Iconolite icon, Acolyte Icon Award. Not bad movement there. So shooting, this poor Primus is probably going to get a Helldrake in the face and a Defiler. So we'll come back to you after the shooting phase if anything survives. In the Night Lord shooting phase, the Hellbrute fired point blank at the Magus there, killing him off with ease. The Defiler fired at the Acolytes over here, but only managing to kill 1. The Raptor here threw a frag grenade, but failed to do any damage. The Plasma Pistols managed to kill 1 more of the Acolytes. The Helldrake over here only got a single shot, killing 1. And 3 more fell to the combined firepower of the Raptors there. 4 have died from this squad, leaving 6 remaining. So, that's the end of the shooting phase. We'll go into the multitude of charges over here, I imagine. We'll do the charges, resolve any Overwatch, and see what happens in the fight phase. Charges. The Mauler Fiend, the Demon Prince, charged in against the characters here, along with the Helldrake. Both Raptors managed to make it in here. No damage in Overwatch. The Raptors over here and the Chaos Lord made it into the Neophytes. We'll do the combat phase. If I have any models left at the end of this phase, I will be exceedingly surprised. So we'll see how we get on. The Demon Prince attacked the Primus, hitting and wounding 5 times, ignoring my armour, but I get a 6 up, feel no pain. And this was my roll. I made 5 out of 10 6s, but unfortunately he only has 5 wounds. So he is dead. And we'll see if the Mauler Fiend can finish off the Icon Ward, who was on a single wound. Don't even think we need to roll for this, but we shall. That's 4 hits. 3 damage apiece, so all I need to do is make 9 6-ups. Let's see. No, he's entirely dead as well. So, combat there, he's got Supremacy for holding the objective, he's also got Claim and Despoil for holding an objective that I once held. The rest of the fight phase, these 2 Raptors killed the Acolyte. These Raptors managed to wipe out the Neophytes, I just haven't removed them yet. So at the end of your turn, you score D3 for supremacy, for 2, D3 for claim and despoil, which is 3, and behind enemy lines, you have 3 units for D3 also. So that's 8. So the final score at the end of the game is 16 points to the Night Lords, 5 and Linebreaker. 17 points to the Night Lords and 5 points to the Genestealer Cults. So a close game for the Genestealer Cults, but yeah, the Night Lords take it in the end. At the end of turn 4, I have been tabled. As you will have just seen, quite a crushing defeat for the Genestealer Cults. We're going to have a wee sort of after battle discussion with how we think things went. So we'll start off. Night Lords turn 1. Pretty good, not devastating, not something I could have come back from. Taking the Lehman Rush down to a single wound hurt.
I think that was probably one of the biggest things in the game.
Yeah, that had I got the firepower of that, I really didn't have much that could deal damage to your vehicles in shooting. No. The Russ was probably the biggest thing. If I had got the first turn, or if I'd hidden the Russ a bit better, I think the Defiler might have been in trouble, or at least one of the Hell Drakes. Because they're not -1 to hit, I would have a good shot with my battle cannon of doing some serious damage. That hurt. In that way, you only... I made some mistakes. I didn't hide the Russ good enough. I thought I potentially... I'm not sure if I could have hidden them fully.
I think maybe pushing him a little bit further back.
Yeah, so he was over here. Pushing him a bit further back might have kept him safe from the Defiler, but I was also worried about if I got first turn shooting, but I should have kept him alive for longer. He would have helped out late game against you, certainly. The other mistake I made was scout moving my Sentinel on this flank. I forgot, it was my own fault, I forgot the Hell Drakes could charge. They're not normal flyers. In which case they aren't -1 to hit, but they can hover as such. They're always hovering, and they can charge. That would have denied you first blood. Mission critical objective was a good draw on turn 1.
Yeah, priority orders.
Priority orders. You basically got 4 points from nothing.
Exactly.
With your Lord able to grab the objective quite easily. So a really good first turn for the Night Lords, but not something I couldn't have come back from. Going 5 points down is tricky, but you only killed... Okay, you neutralised the Russ, and you only killed 1 Sentinel, so it wasn't terrible. My own first turn had 2 really good ambush rolls. Both units of Genestealers and the Patriarch and the Primus came in. The Patriarch and the Genestealers rolling a 6, and I'm not sure my target priority was the best.
Yeah, you rolled the 6 to advance as well, so they would have come on 9 and then gone 14.
I'm thinking rather than going after the Demon Prince, the Warpsmith, the Defiler on this flank, I maybe should have supported this flank a bit better. Odds are I could have put the Genestealers into the Hell Drake to kill it and forced you to come after me. Certainly, I wasn't expecting the Patriarch to die from the Defiler.
I wasn't expecting it that turn at least.
No. Consolidating into the Defiler, my reasoning was to stop it shooting, but I shouldn't have risked my Warlord that way. That was just foolish.
Yeah.
I think my other mistake was bringing in everything, pretty much everything. I think I had a good draw with the Genestealers and I wanted to get them hitting. I had a good draw with the other unit Genestealers. I think I should have kept the Acolytes and the 2 characters back so that I could use Meticulous Uprising and try and get some better rolls. As it was, both of them rolled a 4, meaning they had to... No, a 3. meaning they had to set up at least 12 inches away, meaning I couldn't charge. It was impossible to charge. I think holding them off, I maybe could have used them to bolster one of my flanks, or gone after objectives. Particularly when I got secure and defend objective 4, I might have been able to overwhelm that and get in there. So I think that was a mistake. After that, my shooting phase wasn't great. Basically, I had like one last cannon hit the Helldrake. The shooting with the cult, with the Lehman Rust neutralised, I had some mining lasers, but I'm only hitting a 4. I don't have orders that the guard have to mitigate it, or any form of reroll to hit in the shooting phase. In fact, I don't think my army has any reroll abilities in combat or shooting. I get +1. I have weapons that allow me reroll 1s to win, but I have no latent rerolls to hit, which is annoying. So without rerolls, really the firepower of the cult, they're just like a poor guard squad. The weapons are expensive. They can't really, with no source of rerolls, it's really hard to hit with them, especially when I've
orders to do rerolls or double shots, for example. Yeah,
I had the 2 mining lasers at the Helldrake. I put the Russ, the mining laser, both units in neophytes, the Goliath truck and the rock grinder into the Hellbrute, and did like 1 wound successfully, I think.
Got it down to 5.
Yeah.
And that was mostly the last cannon.
That was the last cannon, got like 5 wounds on it. So the shooting wasn't great. Combat on turn 1, it wasn't terrible. I managed to take out both units of Chaos Space Marines, the Warp Smith and the Sorcerer. In hindsight, I probably should have gone after I did declare the Dark Apostle as a target, and I probably could have got into him with my pile-in. I think it would have been worth the risk going for him, because if I don't kill the Chaos Space Marines, fine. They weren't the biggest threat. The Dark Apostle did some real work.
He is the foundation that provides the demon engines.
He did. He helped a lot over here in the late game. This Mauler Fiend, you would have run out of command points for Forge. Was it Demon Forged? So you wouldn't be getting the rerolls there. I think that was my mistake. I had a good combat. I killed the warp. I don't think the 2 Chaos Space Marines were worth going after.
I think actually you could have taken that Demon Prince with the Patriarch, because he's only got a 5-up input.
That's true. That's true. I forgot about his Invern was only 5-up. I was worried about losing him, but in hindsight, he was dead anyway. I think going after your Demon Prince, it would have killed your Warlord. Probably would have lost my own Warlord next time. That was another mistake. I should never make the Patriarch the Warlord, because he's too valuable not to risk in combat.
He's going to be in combat.
If you're not putting him in combat, then what's the point of taking him? He's good for morale, but that's the other thing. Genestealer Cults, they really need a new codex, as we discussed a few times. With the 3 command points attack again stratagem that we're most likely getting, I think just about every codex has got that so far. You've probably seen with Nids how effective that is. My Genestealers, they would have killed over here. They killed your Chaos Space Marine, your Sorcerer. They would have killed the.
Could have piled in again and killed the Apostle.
Could have piled in again and killed the Apostle. Definitely could have killed the Cultists had I gone after them. I'd need to choose them as a target, soak up the Overwatch, but I'd be okay with that. Or even on the other flank, putting them into putting the other unit of Genestealers into the Mauler Fiend.
Well, I think if you're taking them into the Chaos Space Marines, and then if you had the strat available, you would have taken that Demon Prince out easily.
I think, the Demon Prince would have gone, your Warlord's gone, both your Psychers are gone, you wouldn't be able to block me. I think that would have been the better play. I was always going to struggle against the vehicles, as you saw. It took me a couple of turns to get one Moth. I think that's the first time those rock drills have done the business. Getting it down to a single wound. I think that's the first time I've ever scored, like, that was 6 mortal wounds or something I did in them. most of the time I keep rolling ones for it, so it's horrendous. But I think I need to... I hadn't read the index properly. You can take 4 of the mining weapons per 10. It's expensive, but I think I need to build another few models. The rock cutters aren't great. They're the only ones that suffer the -1 to hit, I believe. I may be wrong on that.
Yeah, I really don't see them over the...
No, the other 2 seem stronger. The drills are really useful.
Yeah.
The cutters I didn't get to use because they got killed before I had a chance. But they are, if you roll over the number of wounds left, I believe, then the model is slain. And they're pretty good weapons in themselves. The rock cutters ×2 strength, so strength 8 most of the time, -4 AP, 2 damage. The rock saws are the same profile, but don't get any bonus. Although I think with the last chapter proved they did adjust the points considerably, because the rock saws went down a lot, which they went down to 14 points each, which is not too bad considering before there were, I don't remember, but there were 20 plus at least, 25, 30. So I think I need to... You only really get 1 turn with the Acolytes in combat in most games. Your army didn't have a huge amount of shooting.
No, it didn't.
So they were okay, but against a shooty army, you really get 1 turn with the Acolytes. They're 11 points, not much better than Guardsmen. They get an extra attack, extra weapon skill 3, but they're only toughness 3 with 5 up save on an 11-point model. They just melt to bolters.
Even against an army like mine that isn't shooting, they only had 1 turn.
Yeah, so I think I need to pile up on the 4 weapons. Just overview. I was going to say show what models I've got left. There are none. I think we need to... I need to get 6 more painted up to double up on the weapons, because they are the ones that deal the damage, especially against vehicles. Against vehicles, that's what you need in the army to take on. And I think, if I can double it, I think with 4 drills, that Maelstrom probably would have died on turn 1. Maybe take a few more cutters or drills over the rock saws. I don't think the rock saws are useful. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're strength
against heavy infantry.
Yeah, they're AP -4, so no save. 2 damage only, but that's not bad. Against heavy infantry, they're solid. -1 to hits. I believe they're the ones that are now -1 to hit. They're not too bad. I don't think they're all -1 to hit, but apologies if I was incorrect in playing them wrong, but it wouldn't have changed the outcome of the game. In fact, it might have made it worse. So, I think after turn 1, turn 2, I lost both Genestealer Genestealer units, which is always tough. They're one of the best units by far.
You've got more coming. So.
Yes, I have 16 more that are in the process of being painted up for future games. So I think 2 units of 15 will be sawed. I've also got another Primus painted, so they can hopefully do a 2-wave attack, so I can use the Meticulous Uprising, and that'll give me a lot of power in the army. So they're good. The Aberrants, I am wondering if I made a mistake not sending them after the Mauler Fiend.
Yeah, or the Helldrake.
Or the Helldrake. I forgot about the Helldrake. As it was, I was going for Assassinate, but they didn't do enough to kill.
I mean, it was a 50-50.
It was. Without the plus, the -1 to hit hurts them. Unless they've got a Primus. Normally I'd run them with a Primus to give them +1 to hit, so they're still hitting on 3s. But they're strength 10, -3 AP, 3 damage. They kill a lot of stuff. If you don't have an invuln, they will wipe you. I think I might have been better sending them after the Mauler Fiend and send the Acolytes after the Chaos Space Marines, not the Chaos Lord. They have the volume of attacks. They really couldn't do much against the Mauler Fiend, although the drills did well. The drills did pretty well. They would have probably... I could have even sent them after the Chaos Lord with the drills.
Yeah.
Had the wounds got through, I think the mortal wounds would have done a lot of damage, and the acolytes probably did enough attacks with their rending claws to take out or seriously hurt the raptors.
The thing is, like, because they were further back than the aberrants, but you would probably have killed the Chaos Marine squad, the raptors. But next turn, I didn't really have the firepower to cut them all down.
Yeah. Well, the big squad of raptors you probably could have gone.
Yeah.
After me with. I think that I did consider that, but I thought if I could get the Chaos Lord, I had a good chance of killing them for assassinate.
Yeah,
and at that point, I was so far behind in points. I kind of I felt I had to make them up. So that was the mistake. I should have sent them after him. The Molofine, the Defiler didn't do amazing. The mistake was going after him because he didn't do a huge amount. When he's moving without Demon Force, his firepower's not great because he's hitting on 5s.
The reason you don't see Defilers is because they're quite expensive. They don't really do a lot of work. This guy always seems to manage to get that 5 to hit with his last cannons. At least one of them. That whole game it hit at least once every turn.
Yeah.
But it's not really viable. The big thing is, he's only about 50, exactly 50 points more than a Morlefine.
Okay.
He's got 2 wounds more. He's got the las cannon and the battle cannon. But he's got the 7 attacks doing 3 damage.
He's got a lot of. I was surprised how many attacks he had. I was expecting him to be more like a dreadnought. In all honesty, that surprised me. That was my mistake. I really hope the Genestealer Cult get a codex this year. Yeah. The orcs are coming October. Sisters are getting something in chapter approved by all accounts. I would hope the cult gets one by the end of the year. They do need some help. Even just some stratagems or morale mitigation, something. Even just the attack again stratagem, I think, would have made a big difference in this game. Their 2 chapter approved stratagems are solid. I don't really use the fade into the shadows. So at the end of your movement phase, that allows you to remove a unit who are more than 6 away from the enemy, and they come in using cult ambush in your next turn. Could be useful if you're out of position, but most of the time I don't find it's necessary. Had a few more of my Genestealers survived, I may have done it. Yeah. As it was though, this really... We decided this was going to be a casual game going in, and it certainly wasn't an optimised Chaos Space Marine army. Oh, no. But, you know, there's a Defiler, a couple of Helldrakes, Molofine, Raptors. I don't think anyone sees them as...
4 Raptors.
But the Plasma Gun squad, I thought, did really well.
Let's be honest, I mean, they did. They killed the thing that was on 5 wounds.
That's true.
And that's it.
Really. Well, they managed to wipe out a couple of squads.
Those guys did alright, yeah.
Yeah, the big 7-man squad with the chainsaws.
They only had to take on like 1 unit of Acolyte boxing. And you kind of expect them to be able to deal with that. Yeah,
I think it wasn't really an optimised list, and it still crushed me.
Well, I think that was just the vast amount of vehicles and high toughness.
I think that's the problem, yeah.
To deal with, and that Lehman Russ taking the hit, that was the big...
I think, had I got first turn... I know first turn's still big.
Obviously.
It's still big. The Russ probably would have done some damage, or would have had a chance to. The Scout Sentinels I would have pushed up, got some firepower. My ambushes on turn 1 might have been...
it wouldn't have been as good.
No, I would...
Because I was set up.
Well, I would have got to your front units quite easily. Probably would have taken out most of your infantry and then just had the vehicles to deal with. And your Raptors might have come in to deal with them, but I would have had most of the board control. But then again, you know, your first turn was solid, but it wasn't. A lot of the games with the cult are essentially over by turn 2. Unfortunately, that seems to be the way it goes. But your first turn wasn't so good that I thought I've got no chance here. The Russ hurt. Taking it down to 1 wound, you probably should have destroyed it, but well, you got lucky with some damage rolls.
I shouldn't have got it even. I mean, maybe half health. I was lucky. Demon Forge with
Gluttonous Machines worked really, really well.
Yeah, that's a strong combination of stratagems right there.
I failed to get Prescience off.
You did, yeah.
Which would have helped even more.
You would have probably killed it with that.
With Prescience, potentially, yeah. But rolling the 5 on the damage would allow us, and then the 2d3s for 6 damage.
Yeah, I think the demon engines hitting on a 4+ hurts them a lot. That's probably why, if they were hitting on 3s, you might see them a bit more. Yeah. But hitting, certainly in combat, unless you have a source of rerolls, unless you have the Dark Apostle, which I really know to kill now, or the command points use Demon Forge, they're really not great. I think against any of my other armies, yeah, this you would have been in trouble, because most of my armies wouldn't have too much of an issue popping vehicles, at least one or two at range. Yeah, it's just the cult seems to struggle, I guess, as one of the very few index armies that's remaining now, which is really good. The release schedule this year has been insane.
They're doing a good job.
Really good job. What I'll probably do to expand the armies, I've got the Genestealers to paint up, and another Primus, another Magus. I was thinking of adding a small guard battalion just to give me some anti-tank firepower. Yeah. You know, a couple of infantry squads with las cannons or missile launchers, a commander, maybe even the tank. Make the Russ a tank commander. Then he's hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. I think that would be useful. I might try and pick up the Blood and Claw box set at some point to add the new aberrants. They're expensive, but they're pretty good. The new character would be nice as well. I think he'd be nice, and I can always add the Primaris to my Dark Angels or Deathwatch. But yeah, overall, I liked your army. It was a fun game, despite the result for me. It was a. I don't think it was too one-sided. The cards were a bit one-sided.
Because I didn't have a lot of shooting. It came down to combat, and I feel like combat is usually not one-sided.
No,
especially in this one, because we've both got combat ability.
Yes, that certainly where my army thrive. Well, maybe not in this game, but it tends to thrive a bit more in combat as opposed to shooting. Yeah, no, I think I mean, I always tell people never complain about the Maelstrom cards. It's, you know, you have bad games with them, but tactically you can do. Might have been worth spending a couple of command points to get rid of overwhelming firepower on my first turn or psychological warfare, just to have a chance at scoring another. Yeah, I mean, you only scored 1 card in your first turn, but it gave you 4 points, and that's a big leap forward. Unfortunately, sometimes again, one of your turns you didn't score anything. No. I scored stuff for.
At that point, I was just trying to kill things.
Yeah, you didn't need to. You were 8 points ahead or something. Thanks to you were 6 points ahead by the end of turn 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were doing well. We'll see how it goes though. So I need to remember, don't make the Patriarch your warlord. Don't throw him into a Defiler again. Although I think it'll be a while before I next see a Defiler on the battlefield in a normal game.
See whether it has the power scourge or not.
There is that, yeah. Don't throw him into Defiler. Maybe he might have survived against the Mauler Fiend.
Possibly.
Might have put him into the Mauler Fiend. That would have at least saved something. Who knows? Who knows in hindsight? Yeah, that was foolish. Or going after your Demon Prince would have probably kept him safe, because you wouldn't have been able to charge me with then, and I would have had a nice screen, and if you shot me I would have passed the wounds off.
That was the other big thing.
That was the other mistake. I thought it was 6 inches. I need to read my rules. I thought it was 6 inches for unquestioned loyalty, but it was 3. Had I kept the Genestealers closer, I probably could have passed off a lot of the wounds. I needed to make a 4-up. Yeah. So even statistically he would have still died, and it would have killed most of the Genestealers with them. So I think that's it. I think we've discussed this enough. We've analysed it. But thanks again to Mike for a really fun game. It's actually quite nice to get the Genestealer Cults out on the table again and feel that you have a go.
It's nice to get the Nightwolves out.
Yeah, they're glad they're not Alpha Legion. It seems they're only Alpha Legion, but hopefully we'll be looking forward to a nice new Genestealer Cults Codex to give me some nice improvements with, you know, chapter tactics, cult tactics, whatever they're called, and some nice stratagems, even just the attack again stratagem. We'll be fine, but I'm sure we'll get some nice new ones.
Yeah.
So, hope you enjoyed that game and the analysis. Any improvements you can think of, let me know in the comments below. If you like, please subscribe to the channel and follow. And again, you can check out the blog, St Andrews Wargaming.